Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to talk about what it's like to work and have type 1 diabetes. So as you might have been able to tell by me blowing my whistle, I am a lifeguard. I am a lifeguard. So yeah, we tend to use this whistle when, it's probably going to be boring, when people aren't supposed to be running. We're like, oh, walk, or or adult swim. I don't know if anybody else has an adult swim by where you live, but adult swim is basically where on the hour, every hour, so like say it's 4 o'clock, then there will be like something called an adult swim for 15 minutes. So like 4 o'clock, you blow the whistle, 4:15, like the kids get back in. So basically every hour on the hour, like there's a 15-minute break and there's an adult swim, so the adults get to swim. And yeah, so the break is for like kids make sure they have to use the bathroom and get their diapers changed or whatever, get some food. So that's basically why we have adult swim. So yeah, we'll use the whistle if like people are like breaking the pool rules too. I mean it sounds so serious, but like yeah, for like just to when we see somebody doing something they're not supposed to, basically. So now I'm finished with my rant about that. So I don't know if any of you are type 1 diabetics and are lifeguards as well, but I know when I was first lifeguard, I was like, I feel like one of my main like concerns was like, oh, what am I gonna do with like my sight and like my blood sugar and my pump and stuff like that, because I feel like it's scary, like you don't know what to do with your pump while you're on the chair, because sometimes you can be on the lifeguard chair for like an hour or so, and you're like, what am I going to do with my pump? So what I would do at times was I would take off my pump and check my blood to see how it's going. If my blood were okay, then I would give maybe I would just like go up on the chair. If my blood were high, then I would correct it, and sometimes I would even keep my pump on. I mean, pumps are supposed to be waterproof, but who really knows? So it would make me scared to go on the chair with my pump. But definitely when I'm teaching swim lessons, I do not go with my pump in the pool. I just make sure to monitor my blood, see how it's going on my Dexcom, and depending on the direction, I'll correct or not correct. So like if my blood is high, I'll make sure to correct for sure. If my blood is low, and if I'm going up on the chair, I'll make sure that my blood sugar is fine before I'm going on the chair, and then I'll eat something. So that's something you definitely want to do, because the hot sun and stuff like that definitely makes your blood go more low. So you have to keep an eye out on that, make sure that your blood sugar is fine, that you're eating. And besides that, there's also the fact that your sight may fall off. So that's happened, like, I don't know if it's ever happened to me at work, but it has happened to me in pools before, and I'm sure other people as well, where they're in water and then your pump comes off. I mean, that'd be bad. Where your sight comes off. So what you do is, because I think I mentioned this to my doctor, and she was like, use skin tack. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of skin tack. So basically, I put on the alcohol swab first, just to like clean the area, and after I'm done with the alcohol swab, I put on the skin tack, and it basically makes your sight stick more, so that way it stays on longer. And you could use this for the Dexcom as well. I definitely recommend this. I know some people use the tape over their Dexcom, that might help as well, but if you want to use both just as a precautionary measure, this is definitely good. It works most of the time, I'd say. And then there's also the fact that sometimes when you're lifeguarding, like kids, you know, if you work with like little kids, they always ask questions or whatever's on their mind. So like sometimes they'll be like, oh, what's that thing on your arm? What's that thing on your leg? What's that thing on your stomach? Like they'll be like, what's that? And like sometimes I've told them, oh, it's just a band-aid, like if it's on my arm or my leg. But they're like, really, it's just a band-aid? Like, what happened? Did you get hurt? Because I'm afraid that they wouldn't know what type 1 diabetes is, and I wouldn't, it wouldn't know how to explain it to them necessarily. But I was surprised that some kids actually did know what it was, because after a while, the whole band-aid thing, they didn't really seem to buy it. So I was just like, oh, I have type 1 diabetes. It's, or I would just say, oh, it's a medical device, like I need it to keep me healthy, so that way they would understand. Some people, if you don't want to explain what type 1 diabetes is, because some kids might not know, and then some kids do know because they have a family member with type 1 diabetes or something. So that's what I usually tell kids whenever they see my site. So, yeah, make sure, as far as like lifeguarding diabetes, make sure you're eating well, because like some people, even if you're not a lifeguard, if you have 9-10 hour work days, you need to make sure you're eating so that way your blood sugar doesn't go up. And some people usually have just like a granola bar, but it's important to make sure you eat an actual lunch if you have a break, which you should get a break. But yeah, so that's my advice for people with type 1 diabetes, for lifeguards who work. Let me see if I could cover. I'm trying to think of this. Well, I'm giving it to you from a lifeguard perspective because I'm obviously a lifeguard. I'm trying to think about it as like a people who do other things and work perspective as well. So I covered basically stuff about like insulin sites and explaining to people what it is, and make sure you eat. Yeah, the making sure you eat thing applies to everybody who works like really long days. Yeah, as well. Oh, Siri was interrupting. So, yeah, let me know if you're a lifeguard and you have type 1 diabetes, if you work and you have type 1 diabetes. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys. Hey, you, walk. Why do you have to walk? Because this is the 3rd time I'm asking you. Make sure you're walking. Oh, would you look at that? It's time to go to the next chair. Hey! Now I can swing my whistle and walk. So much fun.